Today, we're diving into a really powerful thought experiment from the writer Gardner Barrier. It's an idea that challenges pretty much everything we think we know about school, about grades, and about what it even means to learn.
And this is the question at the absolute heart of it all. What if the very foundation of our educational system is kind of flawed? It's a huge idea, and it forces you to step back and re-examine some of the most basic assumptions we have about learning.
I mean, we all know the drill, right? It's all about quizzes and tests and exams. The entire system is basically built to measure one thing: how well you can recall information when you're under pressure. But what if that's completely the wrong thing to be measuring?
And here it is. This is the crucial shift in thinking. We move from knowledge being this thing you just have to it being a tool you can use. And once you make that shift in perspective, oh man, it has these huge implications for how we teach, what we prioritize, and even how we define success. So, Section 1, Skills over Rote Knowledge. Let's really dig into this first big idea. Because if the goal is application, you have to ask yourself, are we even teaching the right skills? Are we actually preparing students for the future they're going to face? Just look at the contrast here. It's pretty stark, isn't it? On one side, you've got the skills of the past, the industrial age stuff, being compliant, memorizing facts, being fast. On the other side, though, these are the skills we need for a super complex, uncertain future. Curiosity, judgment, empathy, collaboration. You know, the very human skills that can't be automated away. Okay, so this focus on new skills leads us to a fundamental problem with the old system. If what we really value now is curiosity and collaboration, how in the world can you measure that with a simple letter grade? It's impossible. So it's time we talk about grades.
A B. We all know what it feels like to get one, but what does it actually tell us? Seriously, what did you do really well? Where did you stumble? What are you supposed to do next to get better? The letter itself says nothing.
And this quote just nails it. A grade is like a final verdict. It's a label. It's not a conversation. It takes this incredibly complex, messy, beautiful process of learning and just crushes it into a single symbol that gives you almost no guidance on how to actually improve. So if grades don't really serve the learner, then you have to ask, who do they serve? Well, the answer is pretty clear: the institution. Grades are an incredibly efficient tool for sorting people, for ranking them, and for making big administrative decisions. So they serve the system, but the argument here is that they totally fail when it comes to a student's actual growth.
Okay, so if the letter grade is a flawed tool, what's the alternative? We can't just get rid of evaluation entirely, right? That's what this next section is all about, exploring a really powerful shift in thinking, moving away from ranking and towards growing.
And here's the proposed alternative. Just imagine if instead of getting a static final grade, evaluation was a dynamic, ongoing conversation that was focused on just one thing: getting better.
And we're not just talking about a simple good job. Meaningful feedback is an art form. It's got to be timely, specific, human, and ongoing. It needs to be focused on your progress and your effort. It tells the story of your journey instead of just reducing it to a single number.
This comparison really gets to the heart of the whole philosophical shift. A grading system is obsessed with averages and deadlines. It actually penalizes students who need a little more time. But a mastery system, it only cares about one thing. Can you demonstrate that you're competent? And if not, that's okay. You're not a failure. You're just not done yet. The educator's role completely shifts from being a judge to being a coach.
And this is the process in a nutshell. You attempt something, you get feedback, you reflect on it, you revise, and then you master it. See? In a mastery model, revision isn't failure. It's the engine of learning. It's a cycle of trial, feedback, and refinement. This is how we learn everything important in life, from walking to riding a bike. Why on earth should school be any different?
So if we're not using tests that just check your memory, how do we assess this kind of learning? Well, we use assessments that look like the real world. You ask students to build things, to solve complex problems, to defend their ideas, to work in teams. You have them build a portfolio that tells a story of their growth over time, not just a transcript that lists a bunch of final scores.
So, feedback over grades, mastery over averages, authentic assessment, these are all pretty radical ideas, but they all hinge on one single fundamental element.
And without this one thing, none of these changes can happen. The current system is really built on compliance and control, a system that at its very core is missing this one crucial ingredient.
This is the ultimate what if. What if the entire operating system of education switched from one that's driven by fear, fear of failure, fear of a bad grade, fear of not measuring up, to one that's built on mutual trust?
So what does that system look like in practice? Well, we trust students to own their learning. We trust educators to be expert guides, not just people delivering content. The focus shifts entirely from sorting and ranking people to actually developing their potential.
And the whole idea ends with these two simple, powerful words. They aren't an answer, they're an invitation to question, to imagine, and to consider what a system designed for the future, built on trust and focused on human development, could actually look like. What if?